नहीं लाइव नहीं है कोई और मेरा दूसरा मोबाइल से भी चेक कर रहा हूँ
नहीं मैंने मैसेज किया आई विल नॉट टेक ब्रॉडकास्ट क्वेश्चन
हाय बाय
Hi guys, I'm Amrut Deshmukh, your Booklet guy, and we are in Booklet house as usual. But for a change, as you see, I'm not alone. A gentleman with me. Welcome, Mr. Manish Panchal. He's an author of the book Define Your Orbit. I've already read his book, needless to mention that. And this book is very special to my heart for a special reason. So let me show you the index of this book. He has covered few millennials as part of his book, and few of the millennials are Rupal Bokeh, Kush Panchal, and Amrut Deshmukh, who he thinks have already achieved their orbit or defined their orbit. Yeah, thank you so much for
Yes.
considering me as
It's
a deserving
my-
candidate to be
You are.
to make me as part of your book. A lovely book. I was hooked to this book and read it in like 2-3 days. So yeah.
Thank you very much Amrut for this invitation. I'm sure this is not going to be the first interaction with the authors.
Yes.
And you create this as a series
Sure.
and benefit the larger audience and your fans.
Inshallah.
Today I think is definitely a special day for me. Morning I had a wonderful activities happening with meeting a lot of startups, and what better than meeting one of the most successful startup of India, Make India Read Mission, the startup with mission. And thank you for inviting me in this booklet house. My pleasure.
Awesome. So we are going to discuss about his book. We'll go in depth in what is the meaning of orbit, how to define your orbit. Let me straight away jump to my favorite part of your book. So it relates to my story. I and my friend were going to Prashant Corner, which is very famous in Thane.
Yes.
And बहुत भीड़ थी उधर. And there was some Krishna similar shop with all chaat and mithai just 2 blocks away from it. And I said, वो try करके देखते ना, चलो. And what he said was that, dude, this is unusual. People usually play safe and they go where there is a crowd, and you are saying that, let's go there, let's take a risk. So this is entrepreneurial mindset. And I never knew this. My friend made me aware that I have an entrepreneurial mindset of worth taking the risk. And the risk worked. I mean, it was as tasty as Prashant Corner. So I'm not paid to promote that Krishna.
Prashant Corner.
Just an example. So entrepreneurs focus on rewards, whereas others they focus on risk. So, and you have mentioned about perception. The
Yes.
same cheese ko, you are looking from this point of view, I'm looking from this point of view. That is all about perception. So could you
Correct.
please throw some light on this?
Definitely, I think that's a good start. As I said, it's all about startups, and we're talking about entrepreneurs. So I would put it this way: there's no right or wrong. As you see, the whole philosophy in the book is talking about there's no right or no wrong. So it's not a prescriptive book, right? So having said that, when we look at entrepreneurs, I'm talking of entrepreneur mindset. So when we talk of entrepreneur mindset, what is that he looks at? We've heard of risk mein ishq hai, right? We've heard of people talking about rewards and risk, what you just mentioned. Glass half full or half empty. So it is how people perceive you. When you say it is half empty, people will say, "Arey ye negative hai." When you say half full, "Arey ye positive hai." Whereas the way I think is that entrepreneurs look at both the angles and take a balanced view. And that is what we use the word calculated risk. Right? What is different in entrepreneur mindset is that they look at rewards in taking risk.
Got it.
It's very different. They look at rewards in taking risk. Right? Higher the risk, higher the rewards. That's the difference.
Well said, well said, well said. Okay, so what made you write this book? What is the why? What was the whole purpose of writing this book?
Well, I think there are a lot of established research around talking about life with purpose, life without purpose. One research which I read long back, where it said that 95% of the people in the world don't have clarity in terms of their purpose or what is their vision in life. 95% of the people. 3% of the people know what they want to do, but don't know how to do it. And 1% of the people know what to do and actually do it. But unfortunately, often they do it by end of their life, so they don't really enjoy it. It's less than 1% who actually know what they want to do it. They do it and they enjoy, like Amrut Deshmukh. You have a purpose, you are doing it, and you are enjoying it. So you are part of those 1% for me. Hence you were covered as I defined my orbit, and here is a successful entrepreneur.
Wow. So you want
More of Amrut
more of-
Deshmukh.
to increase that 1%.
Absolutely. That's the bottom line.
Awesome, awesome. As we all know that I've also written a book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Readers, and I was procrastinating to write my book for almost 6 months. Sirf naam ready tha, 7 Habits. Okay, that was the easiest part, and I was not writing. And then I declared on social media that you will get my book after 2.5 months. I gave a date, 25th November, and I had not written a single word. Okay, and then pre-orders आने लगे, फट गई, and fortunately or unfortunately, 70% of the time in those 2.5 months I was out or traveling for talks. 90% of the book I wrote on flights, on airports, railway stations, hotel rooms.
Wow.
So social obligation or accountability helped me a lot, and I stopped procrastinating. So this was my journey of writing my book. I want to know, you have a very humble journey, I must say, of writing this book. I know this is technically not your first book. Secretly I know. So please open the secret.
Okay. So, this was, I would put it like a 14 years journey. I won't call it vanvas because I didn't focus on writing the book alone. As you know, I come from a corporate background. I'm not purely a literary world guy. But then, as part of my personal aspirations, where it was part of my bucket list, because I had studied when I transited from a corporate CXO kind of a level role 16 years back, and I decided to move into a consulting space. So teaching, training, consulting is something which I said I'll aspire and build my career for rest of my life. Book was one of those, because when I studied top thinkers, management gurus, all of them had multiple publications, multiple books. So I said, एक book तो लिखना बनता है. अब दूसरी बात है, I'm right now working on my second sequel for Define Your Orbit. I don't know, I'm not so, I would say, audacious like you that I'll announce the date and I'll do it, because I'm scared. Genuinely, I'm scared. But I think the journey was very interesting. 2-3 elements, which is, I think, a lot of learning from that whole story also. So my first version of the book was, so I used to conduct a workshop for helping youth to define their personal vision. It was a one-day workshop. More than 2,000 people, I think, have gone through this workshop from 2007 to 2010. Almost every Sunday I was booked and doing these workshops. And culmination of that was observation and feedback. The concept was the book Success Matter of Chance or Choice. That's the subtitle here.
Oh, the subtitle was the name of the book.
And that was the first version which I wanted to release in 2010. 13 years back. That's why I said it's a journey of 14 years. So 1 year before I started, I said, 2010 में release करेंगे. When I shared a copy before publishing with several of my who's who friends who were already authors of half a dozen books and very well-known people, they said it's interesting title, but content में ऐसा कुछ अलग सा नहीं लगा, you know. Vision, बहुत सारे books है, शिव खेरा का, You Can Win है, ये है वो, बहुत सारे books है. So कुछ अलग हटके नहीं लगा. So I was so dejected, so disappointed that I said ये अपने बस की बात नहीं. I scrapped the idea of taking it forward. But having said that, it was a burning desire कि bucket list है, करना तो है ही है. So I started thinking what should be different. Theme तो बहुत important है. As I said, 95% of the people don't know what they want out of life. So it was very critical that to give back to the society, which is my larger or for greater good, I said we have to do something, and that's where I wrote a concept of hierarchy of aspirations. I won't talk too much about it, but it's unique in the world, where we are talking of various stages and how to map your personal aspirations. And this is what then I thought is the best. So in 2019, like you formally announced, I announced 9th of March 2019, the book was to be released. And again, I gave it to my friends and some prospect readers to get the feedback, So critic review from all the readers and feedback almost 2 months in advance, because this time it was ready. And I was waiting for one of my mentor, Professor Peter Cunningham from Nelson Mandela University. He's covered in the book one page of his critic review. And he made one comment. I made a mistake of not changing the title. I kept the title Success Matter of Chance or Choice, because that was my favorite title. And he gave a comment. His comment was just 15 days before, where he says, Manish, I think your book title should have been Define Your Orbit. Can you imagine, on the day of book launch, everybody is there, 200 audience. Peter flew from South Africa for the book launch, and I'm not launching the book, and I'm announcing that I'm going to rewrite this book with the title Define Your Orbit, because my publisher said that you can't change the title so easily. And it took 9 months then after to launch the book on 3rd January 2020.
Super.
So lesson here, just before you jump in with your, I know you have rapid fire kind of machine. So learning is failure होते रहता है life. But if you are determined, strong will and hard work,
Correct.
you can achieve what you want. This is the
Yes,
outcome
and
of
what
that
I
14
see
years.
more than hard work, I see the humility that you accepted what they said. You could have continued with an egoistic mindset that नहीं मेरा इतना नहीं है. तो sun fallacy, in accounts हम CA में आ रहे थे कि sun fallacy करके एक प्रिंसिपल है कि 300 रुपये आप खर्च किया और वो फ्लॉप हुई, फिर भी हम देख रहे हैं क्यों, क्योंकि 300 रुपये खर्चा किया.
Correct.
So you did not fall to that prey. I mean, as a
Here
sunk
I would
cost
like to
fallacy.
say a very good point. Actually, here I would like to say it's mentioned in the book. I'm talking of GIRF. Get it right first. So if you are confident that your product is really good, then get it right first. And then GIB, get it big.
Wow.
So that's the whole idea.
Interesting. There was one story which struck my mind so hard. So when we go in stress, human being is the only, I think, species which goes in isolation when we are in stress. Whereas if you look at other species, when a bird is fearful, they fly. When a monkey baby, a monkey is fearful, they just cleanse his mother, right? Kangaroo डरता है तो छलांग लगा के भाग जाते हैं. But humans, they go in hibernation when they are in stress or fear. You spoke about the analogy of sunflower. Oh my God! I never knew this, that it is scientifically true, right? That they turn. So could you just throw some detail on it?
Yeah. So I, to be very frank, there are two school of thoughts and this whole story, and hence while we wrote the story also we said it's a story, may not be true, but it is. Like as we all know, sunflower is a flower which follows the sun, right? So when the sun rises in east in morning, so all the flowers face towards the east, and it follows the sun, and by evening it goes towards west.
That's why
and
it's
by
called
sunflower. And by end of the day it droops because it's night. So what happens is we talk about so that story goes like this, that one fine day there was no sunlight. It was a hazy day, cloudy day, and all the young sunflowers were wondering what to do, and they were all still drooping and waiting for the sun to rise. And there's one tall stalk of a matured sunflower which said, "Hey guys, why are you so unhappy?" So they said, "Oh, there's no sunshine today, we are not yet feeling happy, we are not blooming the way every day we do." So he says, Why are you missing? There is enough sunlight in each of us if we start facing each other. And that is how the story goes. And same thing, if you take this as an anecdote or a story, same thing is what I talk about, where many people actually face challenges in terms of self-drive. And that's where we talk about a concept of importance of mentor. I have mentioned that every individual, please note it down, you should have at least 2 or 3 mentors in your life to whom you can fall back on. It is mandatory in life. And they play that role of sunflower. Second, you should ensure that you be in the kind of people with high energy. So the day you are low energy, you take your energy from these high energy. Today's example, as I said when I walked into this Booklet house, I mentioned it was a fantastic day. There were like 25 startup young guys talking about their great startup. I felt energized. बोला यार क्या बात है आज तो मजा आ गया. You got it. So it is exactly this. Everybody should lean on some mentors. Look for people with great energies around them. When you have low energy, take that some.
Good. I've been waking up till half of my life till now, not before 8 a.m. I used to go to bed at 1 a.m., wake up at 8 a.m. So, सोने का भी late, उठने का भी late. Now, it's been since lockdown, not a single day has gone that I've slept after 5 a.m. and I go to bed at 9:30 p.m. every day, come what may. And there is one interesting phrase I read, test of laziness. The gap, and it's so interesting.
You have picked up a lot of interesting things.
The time gap between waking up and getting up. So we wake up, but we don't get up from our bed. And वो जिसने भी वो बटन बनाया ना, मुझे उसको खून करना है. That bloody button is the snooze button. It has made our life hell. वो होना ही नहीं चाहिए. So yeah, what is test of laziness? I would like to hear from your mouth.
So, see, fundamentally, what I've shared, that today if you look at all of us, look for some lazy days, right? I have several friends, they say, अरे गोवा जा रहा हूँ. मैं पूछता हूँ क्या किया गोवा में? मतलब crocodile जैसा सो गया, lazy एकदम, कुछ नहीं किया. So once a while it's okay. Everybody should have some lazy days, like cheat day or whatever you call it. But what I found is that there are a lot of souls. I call bhatakti atma बोलते हैं, जो purpose driven नहीं है. A lot of lost souls. They keep an alarm of 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or whatever, 8 o'clock, and keep snoozing. Many a times I have observed people don't even could hear the alarm. Right? It's ringing. बाजू वाला आके घंटी बजाता है, अरे भाई तुम्हारा अलार्म बंद करो. So, और बाजू के रूम वाला अपना, if it is a family. So that is where this whole thought process came in, that test of laziness is the time you wake up, from the time you get up from the bed. जो time distance है ना, is laziness. So how much gap, more lazy you are. And it's a test, everybody can try it by themselves. You would find these people reaching late, finding it difficult to do general things also on time. They may dilly-dally things for no reason or give excuses. So this is what I'm talking about, test of laziness.
Yeah, so please take this test tomorrow and let me know in comments whether you pass or fail. I know it's not easy, it takes practice.
Yes.
So what I tried was that if I am used to get up at 8 a.m. and my aim is to get up at 5 a.m. So we love to do radical changes. So instead of that, I got a trick from one of the books by Brian Tracy, that if you are putting an alarm of 8 a.m. today, tomorrow you put it at 7:55, then 7:50, then 7:45. So gradually, because your body has a circadian rhythm, a biological clock within it, which is invisible, it will never come to know that, oh, I am changing myself, I am changing my behavior. Right?
Absolutely.
So one solution, to pass in this test of laziness.
Absolutely. So I would like to add that exactly what you just mentioned, that body has a memory. So you won't believe, but I have a very active flying life also. So I've never missed my flight. 5 a.m., 4 a.m. Often I get up before the alarm, at least 80% of the time. If it's 3:30 a.m. So I'm just redefining that body memory also. So I'm adding this.
So you have a negative gap. Negative in
Yeah,
this test of
80% of the time I get up before the alarm is ringing. So often I take it in my washroom because I know it's going to ring.
Wow.
And then I close it.
Obviously.
And I'm already in my washroom doing my brushing teeth so
Awesome.
that I don't disturb my wife who's sleeping besides. And why this? Because before I sleep, I'm already telling my mind that I have to get up at so and so time, and incidentally or because of multi years practice, it just happens by itself. So mind beyond your body memory.
Awesome, awesome. I think this is because you love something more than sleep.
Absolutely.
Simple. गांधी जी के कितने बंदर थे? 3. बुरा मत देखो, बुरा मत सुनो, बुरा मत बोलो. इन साहब के मनीष पांचाल has 4. गांधी जी के 4 थे, इनके 4. गांधी जी 3 थे, इनके 4 बंदर है. सो ये क्या मान है भाई? ये चौथा बंदर कब आ गया?
देखो ऐसा है ना, if you see today, so much of social media, we are doing social media podcast. We are forcing people to come on YouTube live, or maybe they'll watch our reels later on. What I'm trying to say is that it's good, but if you ask me, thanks to Mukesh Ambani, that he's brought the data cost at so low level that Indians are the highest user of data. Unfortunately, fortunately, whatever you call it, we have been glued to the mobile phone so much that it has become our it's our life actually. Today we have heard enough stories. If you pull away mobile phone from someone whom you love also, will slap you back or hit you back. Mobile phone haath mein de. So life is bigger, or your friends say be bigger, is mobile phone. Now what has been observed is that when you are using your mobile phone, often many people put headphones. So आपने headphone लगा दिया और music सुन रहे हो, you will see lot of people jogging with headphones. Do you think they are listening? वो गांधी जी का पहला बंदर हो गया.
So they are not listening to what
is happening around. Neither they are listening to what people are talking to them. क्या बोला?
Yeah, exactly. It happens, and that's very irritating.
Yes, and it's like you have to tell 3 times same thing.
Feels like an
And then you get angry. Second, they often keep watching this screen.
Yeah.
So blue rays, आँख खराब करना. Almost every kid you observe today, the number of spectacles going up is huge because of so much of screen time. So आँख screen पे ही glued है, अच्छी चीज़ें देख नहीं रहे. I remember many times when I travel abroad, I see all the kids, Indians or foreigners, they're beautiful, Switzerland में घूम रहे हैं, बस में जा रहे हैं, कार में जा रहे हैं, इतनी बढ़िया सीनरी देखने की जगह सब बच्चे मोबाइल पे गेम खेल रहे हैं. सो अच्छा चीज़ है जो देख नहीं रहे नेचर को, और अच्छा बोल नहीं रहे क्योंकि वो मोबाइल ही बोल रहा है तो उनको बोलने का मौका नहीं मिल रहा है. यू आर फाइंडिंग पीपल रियली facing challenges to stand up and talk. So that is why I am saying today we have a serious problem. We have बुरा मत सुनो, बुरा मत बोलो, बुरा मत देखो, all 3 in 1.
Who is into
Who's
this?
only into mobile.
His picture is this way.
Yes.
He is into his mobile.
I was just trying to look at that in the book if I can.
I got
find
the
it.
picture. I think the audience got the picture.
You will find it in my book. It's a wonderful picture, artistically drawn by my favorite Khushbu Lohia. She's a wonderful artist.
Okay. So the 4th monkey is neither seeing good things, neither listening good things, and neither talking good things because busy with the phone.
Absolutely.
See, ultimately, internet, social media is a tool. Okay. it's up to us how to use it. Like 50 lakh people are following me because of
Absolutely.
internet. Yeah? So it's a tool like एक चाकू है,
Correct.
एक डाकू के हाथ में दो और एक सर्जन के हाथ में दो.
Correct.
See, the
Absolutely.
same
Very well
tool,
said.
एक जान लेने के लिए यूज करता है, एक जान बचाने के लिए. So
Very well
same
said.
thing. Helicopter parenting was a very interesting phrase, and I would like to know in detail. And I know there are many helicopter parents around me. Uh,
I might be one.
so I am not the appropriate person to comment on it. So I think tell me what is the problem with these helicopter parents and how to overcome it.
So, your question is in two parts. Overcome and so helicopter parenting in nutshell, if you ask me, is a situation where parents hover around their kids. So as I said, I have a friend whose business is tagging pets, tagging kids. स्कूल से आया क्या, स्कूल में गया क्या, घर पे आया क्या. So they have a tag with them and they can track him. So Keep Track is his company. And there I was wondering, are you serious? Do you think that's a business? He says it's a most popular business. Every parents want to track where their kids are, what they are doing today. So that is one example of hovering around kids. Another example is not letting them do what they are supposed to do. I've often seen in schools, colleges, parents getting involved in kids' education. It's good to help or guide, but to the extent, beta ye rehne de, they will do the project and give it back. Often some of the working parents call some outside experts. अरे तू 1000 रुपया ले, मेरे बच्चे का प्रोजेक्ट बना के दे अच्छे से. And then this बच्चा जाके लेके जा रहा है. This is what I call as helicopter parenting. The solution I'll tell you with a small story, very nice story. A story of cocoon, a caterpillar coming out of a cocoon. And that caterpillar, one small baby, a boy, he liked it, he picked it up and kept it in a beautiful jar with some nice leaves to eat, so that caterpillar can become a butterfly. And few days he observed it was growing very finely and very nice. His mother was also appreciating, my child is very caretaking about a beautiful future butterfly. After a few days, when he realized that the wings are coming out for that particular caterpillar from the cocoon, the boy felt that he is struggling to break and he may die. And just out of his soft-heartedness, which is all the parents have, he brought a scissor and cut the cocoon so that the butterfly can fly, is what he thought. But unfortunately, butterfly came out of it and couldn't fly, and within few hours it died. The child started crying and saying that, Mama, I tried to help this but it died. And then his mother said that, beta, you, instead of helping it fly and let it fight its own battle, because that fight was making that caterpillar stronger. And if he has that strength to break the cocoon, then only he will be able to fly. And this is a real story, real fact. This is exactly I'm talking of parents are doing. I would say don't use the scissors, don't break the cocoon, let them fight it out and let them fail, let them bounce back, let them win, help them build their resilient nature.
I mean, I can understand. You see, I can empathize with the
I hope I answered your question.
100%. So
because your satisfaction is mine
parents,
and is for the audience.
It's such a tricky situation for parents. On one hand, parenting is all about protecting your children, but then don't go so far away that because growth is by going through the pain and not by avoiding the pain. Okay, so माँ से खाना बनाया ठीक है, बाद में वो परोसना और भराना, that you are weakening the child. नहीं मुझे सब्जी पसंद नहीं है तो अच्छा ठीक है दूसरी सब्जी बनाती हूँ. नहीं भाई उधर 2 तमाचे लगा कुछ और वही खाना था जो fortunately मैंने खाए बचपन में. I met one helicopter parent when I was in stock market, I can never forget this incident. I was interviewing that person. So I wanted a candidate in my team as a fund manager, portfolio manager. Interview हो गया, सब हो गया. Okay, fine. I'll call you for the second round. हाँ ठीक है, तो मैं second round को मेरे बेटे को भेज देता हूँ. It was not the candidate, it was the father of the candidate who had come for the interview.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It happened with me
Yes.
just a month back, where one startup guy, they pitched me, and then they didn't switch on the camera. It was a virtual call, and it is father speaking, and I said, oh, and I kept on repeating the name, and then that guy said, sir, my name is so and so. It is me speaking. My son is little shy. I said, now please, you don't speak. Let him speak. I don't mind if he is shy. Let him speak. If it is his product, his solution, his startup. Absolutely right.
I think this line कि जो मैंने लाइफ में भुगता वो मुझे बच्चों को नहीं भुगतना चाहिए. I think it's a dangerous line.
Dangerous. Very true. Very true.
The 24-hour rule. I think one of the international coaches, he taught their students. I think basketball coach. कि अगर आप मैच जीते हो या हारते हो, जीते तो celebrate for 24 hours and then back to the court. Forget. Okay, you can't just dance on your past laurels. हार रहे हो, रोना धोना, not more than 24 hours. Pack your bags, pull your socks, and again at the court. I think this was a very powerful message to me. Yeah, I did my CA like years ago. I just can't boast it. उसके reward मुझे मिल गया, जो भी है उसको मिल गया. Every day is a new day. Sachin Tendulkar can't even carry forward one run from his previous century, from his previous match. He has to start from zero. Right? So could you just tell me in detail about this 24-hour rule?
So, see, fundamentally, what I'm talking about is when we look at 24 hours rule, it is basically talking about, वो कहते हैं ना, सक्सेस दिमाग में नहीं जाना चाहिए, वैसे फेलियर भी दिमाग में नहीं जाना चाहिए. See, आप ऑलवेज यू विल हियर कि इसके दिमाग में सक्सेस चली गई, आप फेलियर उसके दिमाग में गई वो कभी नहीं सुनते हो.
Correct.
You got it. So this is what exactly it is talking about. That failure or success, you need to have a balanced mind. The reason is you have to do introspection. आप अगर फेल हुए तो दूसरी बार फेल ना हो, उसके लिए अगर आपका माइंड स्टेबल नहीं है, इफ यू आर ब्रूडिंग, यू आर क्राइंग, यू आर फीलिंग यार ये बेकार दिन गया और अभी तो मैं कभी नहीं खेलूंगा, कभी नहीं करूंगा, you will not really, have a balanced thinking. And hence, this concept of 24 hours, which the coach Cole has talked about, is beautiful. And it says he was one of the most successful NFL coach in the world, with maximum victories. And the reason was this concept, where he tells all his boys 24 hours to enjoy your success, party, have fun, and only 24 hours to brood or cry about your failure.
Which is fair enough, right? This is not, one may complain that how emotionless he is. No, he is giving 24 hours.
Yes.
Express your emotions as much you want.
हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, नई गिल्ली नया डाव.
Correct.
New game, start fresh.
Yes. One story was quite interesting about the frogs. Climbing the tower. और फिर सब लोग बोल रहे थे उसको कि नहीं चढ़ोगे, फ्रॉग इतना ऊंचा टावर कैसे चढ़ेगा, और एक फ्रॉग कैसे वैसे चढ़ गया. एंड देन द सस्पेंस वाज लाइक आई laughed so much. I was reading at 9 o'clock at night before going to bed, and I had a big laughter in my bed. So you open the suspense first, tell the story in detail,
Okay.
and then open the suspense.
So the story goes like this. There was a kind of a frog race where a lot of seasoned frog were going to race and climb the mountain. And there was one tiny frog which people started laughing कि अरे धुरंधर लोग हैं इसमें, तंदुरुस्त फ्रॉग है, वो लोग जेम तेम माउंटेन के पीक तक पहुंच सकते हैं, तू क्या पहुंचेगा, अरे ये तो हारेगा. और as you see in the game also, like we see India Pakistan, yesterday there was a WhatsApp message कि इंडिया पाकिस्तान ऑस्ट्रेलिया मैच में भी भारत माता की जय बोला तो पाकिस्तान वाले को फीलिंग आती है, राइट? They get tensed. Australians, Okay, Australian audience talking Bharat Mata ki Jai, and Pakistan ऐसे WhatsApp आया था. So it is something similar, कि जब competition रहता है तो there is a lot of audience pro and against you, right? And a lot of noise around you. So in real life also it is like that, right? So ऐसे noise था और वो frog जैसे गन शॉट हुआ सब दौड़ने लगे, वो भी अपना दौड़ने लग गया, लगा आधे तक पहुँचे तो बहुत सारे स्टॉप हो गए, नहीं चढ़ पाएंगे, थक गए और लोग बोलते थे नहीं जाएगा नहीं जाएगा नहीं जाएगा, रुक जा. एंड वो चल रहा था, लॉट ऑफ नॉइज अराउंड, राइट, ऑल थ्रू. एंड previous champions also who had just reached this peak was hoping this time he'll cross. But ये छोटा फ्रॉग चढ़ते गया, आखिर में वो जीत भी गया. तो उसका राज ये था कि अनफॉर्चुनेटली और फॉर्चुनेटली वो बहरा था. So that is the best part of the story, and I'll give a very interesting twist to this and you can relate it. So वो बहरा था, इससे उसने लोगों की सुनी ही नहीं, अपनी सुनी. उसको मालूम है उसको पहाड़ चढ़ना है, 100 बार गिरो पहाड़ चढ़ना है. उसको लोग बोले अरे तू चढ़ नहीं पाएगा, तेरा मतलब नहीं है, यू आर नेगेटिव. नेगेटिव फीडबैक को भी उसने सुना नहीं, पॉजिटिव फीडबैक को भी नहीं सुना. सुनो सबकी करो मन की टाइप का. एंड ही क्लाइंब एंड ही वन. देयर आर इनफ एग्जांपल्स ऑफ सेलिब्रिटीज हु गेट ट्रोल्ड. And these celebrities, when they get trolled, they also have feelings, right? They also, many times they say we don't read. But I know many celebrities, they get disturbed and disappointed also. कि इसने ऐसा बोला, उसने ऐसा बोला. We've seen many, including our most famous laughter show guy. For 2-3 years, he was like in a sad situation. Same way, if you look at Sachin Tendulkar and Kambli's situation. Sachin, I would say, was like a deaf frog. He didn't hear what people say good or bad. He also had bad patches in his life, but he bounced back. Amitabh Bachchan, he bounced back. So if you are going to have a deaf ear to negative things, positive things सुनिए, लेकिन negative things को आप deaf ear कीजिए, ये मेरी सबको एक request है. That benefits you and you help achieve.
परसों मैं एक टॉक पे गया था कॉलेज. ब्यूटीफुल कोट रिटन ऑन द वॉल. द बेस्ट फ्रेंड इज वन हु हेल्प्स यू बिफोर द एग्जाम, नॉट ड्यूरिंग द एग्जाम.
राइट.
सो ये जो अच्छे लोग हैं ना, सो व्हेन यू बिकम डेफ यू माइट कंप्लेन, तो फिर चीयरिंग जो हमारे लिए चीयरिंग करे वहाँ पे भी आप अनसुना करोगे तो कैसे चलेगा? वो तो पॉजिटिव रिस्पॉन्स है. बट असली जो फ्रेंड है ना, वो उसके पहले इन योर नेट प्रैक्टिस वहाँ पे आपको मदद करता है. ये तो बस एक बाय प्रोडक्ट है. कम ऑन राइट. इट्स नॉट द मेन परफॉर्मेंस, इज नॉट द मेन थिंग. इट्स अबाउट द प्रैक्टिस, हाउ इट सीरियसली डू. आई रिमेंबर आई वाज यूज्ड टू प्ले टेबल टेनिस, और मेरे एक हाटे सर करके कोच थे. और मेरे सब दोस्तों के कोचेस टूर्नामेंट को आते थे, मेरे सर कभी नहीं आते थे और मैं रोता था. अच्छा, मेरे सर अच्छे नहीं हैं. आई यूज्ड टू कंप्लेन टू माय पेरेंट्स. नाउ आई अंडरस्टूड, नो, ही वाज राइट. ही वाज वर्किंग ऑन मी व्हेन नोबडी इज वाचिंग अस. ओके, नाउ इट इज his job is done. In the tournament, it's me and my bat and the ball. The audience cheering is ek sone pe suhaga. It's like that extra cheering. Yeah. So that's what I think the same message you gave in the book. Okay, Maslow's hierarchy of needs बचपन से पढ़ा है मैंने. Okay, वो सबको पता है. ये आपका जो कुछ नया है कि hierarchy of aspirations. Yeah. So do you first proclaim that now Maslow's hierarchy of needs is no more relevant? Yes or no? Regardless of that, what is your hierarchy of aspirations? So I have 2 questions.
Okay, so let me answer the first one. Hierarchy of needs is definitely a good concept. It maps motivation from physiological need to self-actualization. I don't want to share that whole pyramid. I feel that it was about purely needs of a human needs as you grow and what motivates you from one to another. I call it it is good, but it is not irrelevant. I would put it is dated. There is a need for a new concept and new framework. That is what I said earlier in the talk today, that this is a very unique framework in the world. I'm not boasting, but incidentally, I'm the first in the world who have actually described this in a very methodical manner, where a journey of human aspiration moves from ignorance to enlightenment. Now, before I move to explaining that hierarchy of aspirations, I would talk about need for new model. Hierarchy of need नहीं तो कौन क्या need है इस समय का, and why? So, two simple examples. As per hierarchy of needs, self-actualization is ultimate when all your other needs are taken: food, shelter, clothing, love, care, affection, fear, security. All these things are taken care, and finally it is self-actualization. Means आप भगवान का सोचो, spirituality, all those things. Go inward. Is what Maslow talks about. My question, unfortunately, is not around to Mr. Maslow was that if I'm already born in a very rich family and all my needs are already taken care of, I move around with security, I have huge fan following. When I'm born, तैमूर को ले लो आप, करीना कपूर का बेटा, right? All basic needs, physiological needs are well taken care of by birth itself. तो क्या उस बच्चे का अभी need खाली self actualization है क्या? Is a question mark. There is no answer to that. I give you one more example. Now in Jainism, youngsters, professional, poor, kid, doesn't matter. Rich or poor, professional or uneducated, doesn't matter. They can take monkhood. Diksha बोलते हैं.
Yeah, I have a Jain friend.
Yeah. So they dedicate themselves early in life to monkhood. Means they want to give their life, their soul, their life purpose to God, Mahavir. Now these people, some of them were kids of poor family. They hardly had good food or good clothing to wear. And they are going to self-actualization. तो मेरा सवाल मास्लो साहब से ये था, साहब आप बताइए इनका क्या सिचुएशन है. सो ये ऐसे बहुत सारे सिचुएशंस थे. I was lucky to meet Professor Jagdish Sheth. Incidentally, he's worked with Maslow. And I had like a long discussion with Professor Jagdish Sheth. He has a college in India. He's a Padma Bhushan. In 2020, he received Padma Bhushan. He lives in US. And he found this as a really amazing concept. He says this is hierarchy of aspirations is really a futuristic concept for the world. And he said, Manish, don't stop. That's why I'm here. Now about the concept, what is different? So here we are talking of a journey of an individual from self-aware. When you are aware what you want from your life, that's the first step. Then you start driving yourself towards what you want to achieve, what you want, right? The moment you are in self-drive mode, the next mode is to bring in reasonable amount of discipline to achieve your purpose. The moment you have reasonable amount of discipline, then the next stage comes is self-confidence. So self-aware, self-drive, self-discipline, then you achieve self-confidence, and then you go away from the gravitational pull, like how our
social validation.
Yeah, वो सब की ज़रूरत नहीं है. You get into the mold of
It spoke my heart. That's what I feel today. I don't care what I wear. People come to me for what's within me. The
Absolutely.
books. Yeah. Wow. It spoke
Absolutely.
my mind.
Absolutely. So it is just a beautiful concept which nobody has put it in a framework format. And here what we are doing is we are helping. So I talk about you have a great hardware, that's your body. You have a great software, that's your mind. So define your orbit is a manual on how to operate your hardware and software. So in fact, you would be happy to know that very soon we are starting our workshop. As I said earlier, I used to do success matter of chance or choice workshop. Now that is getting converted as define your orbit workshop with proper framework on helping individuals to map personal aspirations and to achieve the same. You can write down my number 7977 015 305. You can WhatsApp me. We're going to plan our first workshop soon, mostly post Diwali. So I repeat 7977 015 305. You can WhatsApp me if you're interested to attend this workshop. Don't worry about commercials, we'll figure it out. So it's more about making a difference in someone's life, and I would want that as many people in this world benefit out of this concept of define your orbit and get a certificate like Amrut. I defined my orbit.
Now I understand why you made me as part of your book. I think to end up, I would like to cover one of the stories. Apart from me,
Sure.
people know my story and they are well connected with me. Kush Panchal's story is very interesting.
Yes.
I'll tell what I know about him
Sure.
because he has become a very good friend of mine because of you.
Oh, thank you.
So he never went to a traditional school like you and me. He never studied chemistry, geography, biology. He went to Gurukul system where they teach Upanishads and Purans and Vedas. And then he got the confidence. He's a yogi basically. He knows all the yogasanas. And the idea that he used was he observed that all the elite beauty parlors where minimum bill is 50,000. You never see a car below Audi and Porsche and Ferraris outside the parlors. So these ladies, मैंने तो कभी किया नहीं, वो ऐसे लगाते ना, वो ककड़ी वकड़ी लगा के they have to dry their face for almost 30 minutes and that is complete waste of time. They can't even read a magazine. So he pitched to all these elite beauty parlors, can you give me a small room for those 30 minutes where they are anyway wasting? I will teach them meditation for free.
Wonderful.
And through that, look at the quality of connections. Entire Bollywood is because all the elite
Yes.
people must be going there. And now he is practicing as a Bollywood yoga
Yes.
teacher, instructor. So see, what a frugal idea. इसमें कुछ
Absolutely.
खर्चा नहीं है. He started with free. He showed so much of humility to give it for free, and focused on and delayed his gratification. And now he has some great connections with elite people from South Bombay. He's doing very well. Yeah.
मैं कुछ के लिए बोलता हूँ वो शांति में क्रांति है. वो सबको शांत करता और क्रांति कहलाता है. तो शांति का क्रांति है कुश पंचाल.
Superb. So
Same way, I mean, Afrosai is also doing wonderfully well. I think we all should visit him again, like beach cleanup. And he has a wonderful story around him. He's a lawyer by profession and giving his commitment. And he says, Manish, मैं तो कचरा वाला हूँ. बीच पे से प्लास्टिक बॉटल और प्लास्टिक का कचरा उठाता हूँ. He is UN champion of the earth and wanting to ensure that whole world, all the beaches become plastic free. So sea without plastic. And he's actually a UN champion of the earth, so he's a UN brand ambassador. So I'm really proud that I was lucky to get some of the best millennials who have really transformed not themselves but transformed the world.
superb. What a great session, Manish. I think we have covered good number of topics from your book.
Yes.
So the book is available on Amazon. I'll put the Amazon link in the description as well. So thank you so much.
I would like to
Go to add something.
do one thing more. Friends, I've talked about my contribution. So every 100 books sold, Amrut's foundation, Make India Read, is going to get contribution from my royalty. I promise you that, Amrut.
Oh.
So please ensure that spread this good word, contribute in terms of not just buying the book for yourself as your manual, but for making a difference and contributing to Amrut's foundation, Make India Read.
What a noble thought.
And I'm pushing Amrut to move to make world read, maybe very soon.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Happy reading. And bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.